6 reasons why travel insurance is definitely worth it. Millions of Americans never give a thought to insurance when preparing a trip, focusing more on topics such as airfare, lodging, car rental, and leisure activities. But insuring your trip is a great way to make sure things don't get out of hand owing to sudden cost or pricey emergency bills. Travel insurance covers a range of unforeseen events and ultimately gives you the peace of mind you need before, during, and after your journey. Quick note, Medicare and Medicaid generally do not cover medical costs overseas. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you today? I'm doing fantastic, and I hope that you are doing marvelous. And if you are doing as marvelous as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or what coffee. That's good. Today I want to talk about travel insurance and why it's very, very important. But before I do this, let me acknowledge Angel Johnston from Bentonville, Arkansas, Chelsea John from Rogers, Arkansas, and Kira Hughes from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Now, number one reason why travel insurance is definitely worth it. It is affordable and covers your entire family. This is very important. Now, people don't buy travel insurance because of cost, right? But the thing here is that, having the peace of mind that comes from, knowing that your whole family is covered is very, very important. If you're already paying thousands for a long awaited cruise or resort vacation, and you are traveling with your children and your significant other, it's smart to spend a little more on insurance. The idea here is to spend $200, $150 on something that can save you not million here, but thousands of dollars. All right. The thing here is that travel insurance is affordable. Now, people think it's something very sophisticated that you need to. No. When you get a quote for travel insurance, usually the agent will present you with multiple coverage options. And the good thing is you can pick the best one for your trip and your budget. All right. So you have plans that are very cheap. For instance, one trip cancellation, right? Or some that are very complicated or very expensive, where you get the whole package. All right. Now, keep in mind that the best way to find a low-cost travel insurance plan is just to shop around. All right. Don't. And you want to do this at least 1 month before traveling, unless this is a business trip or it is a suddenly planned trip. If you plan your trip, think about travel insurance beforehand. All right. And so you shop around. You want to make sure that you have identified everything that is important for you. Make sure that you shop for plans that cover the whole family. Again, this is very important, especially if you have dependent children, right? You also want to you want to make sure that the insurance is covering remote areas. Some countries may not be covered based on their geographic situation or their diplomatic interactions with the United States. So you want to double check with the State Department to make sure that country is not on the list of quote unquote banned countries, right? And so the idea here is to do your homework beforehand and trying to get the best coverage possible. Number 2 reason, you want to avoid mishaps that could ruin your trip, right? Now, think about it. You spend months or weeks focusing on that, planning that summer vacation, right? And it's, if you think about it, it's really an investment, right? It's an investment in your happiness. It's an investment in your family's happiness, right? Now, think about what will happen if you have a canceled flight, a missing bag, a missed connection. Basically, the happiness fades away. So what you're trying to do here is that you're trying to use travel insurance to help you navigate those adverse situations, right? So basically, the insurer will reimburse you if there is a travel delay, right? So you can pay for additional accommodation or travel expenses or even lost prepaid expenses. Because think about it, sometimes you have to prepay certain fees, in the destination country, and if you miss your flight or the flight is canceled, you are actually forgoing this fee. So travel insurance will cover that. Another thing that you want to think about is, baggage delay, for instance. Now, baggage delay benefits can reimburse you for the additional purchase of essential items. Let's say you have your favorite lotion, your skin lotion, or your favorite shoes, whatever, and you don't have it, so you have to wait for 24 hours. The thing here is that the insurance company will give you money to actually pay for those personal items. Again, those are mishaps that may ruin your experience, but having insurance coverage is very important. Two other things you want to think about is that travel insurance provides replacement of stolen or lost luggage. All right. And another thing that you get from travel insurance is that you get peace of mind for personal liability. Now, personal liability is very important. Why? Let's say you get involved in an incident incident overseas, and you're found legally responsible for someone else's personal injury, or you have mistakenly, or your children has mistakenly damaged somebody's property. Travel insurance can cover you, right? So I guess my point here is that travel can always be unpredictable, and if you want to have peace of mind, you want to hedge your savings against any unforeseen eventualities that may cost you money. Go get it. Those are the first two reasons why you need travel insurance. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. If you love the content of the show so far, please consider subscribing to our channel. Turn on the notification bell, and we can ship you new shows every single day. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. All right. I want to quickly acknowledge Jackie Bailey from South Haven, Mississippi, Macy Turner from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Eliza Newman in Meridian, Mississippi. We really appreciate your help, your suggestions. Thanks for suggesting today's topic. Jackie, Macy, and Eliza from Mississippi, we really love you. Number 3, medical emergencies abroad can be really expensive. If you're thinking that healthcare costs are already pricey in the United States, you don't want to know about overseas, right? God forbid something happens to you and you require a medical evacuation. You might be, you might end up paying like a six digits bill. So, medical emergencies happen. Even if you're healthy, even if you're fit, even if you're young, even if you have no history of no medical history, always think about the $50 you're paying to the insurance company for your 2 weeks vacation versus the $100,000 you would have to pay potentially should something happen, right? So you have, those things that you need to think about. Now, I'm talking about medical emergencies, dental emergencies, right? You also, now the good thing is that the insurance company will not only pay for the medical costs, they'll also provide support. In other words, they will actually, because the insurance companies have teams of professionals who are at their disposal, quote unquote, who helps in the process after an insured files a claim. So you can get support in a medical emergency in terms of after the emergency, right? So I'm not talking about just hospitalization. I'm talking about after the hospitalization. All right. So let's say you also have dental emergencies, and that's it. Now, number 4, you don't want basically to cancel your vacation investment, right? Again, as I said earlier, a vacation is really an investment, right? And the thing here is that you don't want to lose that vacation investment. And again, we're talking about what? We're talking about rescheduled flights, canceled flights. What's going on here is that if you're going to a country that is close to the United States, then it's fine. But if you're going to a faraway country where it will probably take you another, 2 days, let's say you're flying from New York to Singapore, right? And it's probably a whole day, or you're going from New York to Sydney. There's probably a whole day of traveling, right? And the flight is canceled, and you have folks waiting for you in Sydney, family or friends, or you have to get into a group sort of excursion, and everything is canceled. That's a lot of money being lost right there, right? Especially if everything has some kind of connection, you have a ripple effect. All right. So the thing here is that by having this travel insurance, you're able to cover a lot of expenses. All right. Covered reasons can include situations like the covered serious illness or injury of the insured person. For instance, you have a travel companion or a family member, the death of the insured traveler. If you have a traveling, the death of the family member, or a natural disaster, or any other event that renders your destination unlivable, your travel insurance company will pay for that, will reimburse you. All right, so that's pretty good. I will be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation around travel insurance and why this type of insurance is definitely worth it. I want to give a big shout out to Taylor Evans in Patterson, New Jersey, Kira Murphy in Elizabeth, beautiful state of the beautiful Garden State, and Kit Clark in Montclair, New Jersey. I love Montclair. Kate, Kira, and Taylor, thank you so much for your topics and suggestions. We really appreciate it. Reason number 5, the government won't cover you. Now, this is a myth out there that a lot of Americans who travel overseas, they believe that if something happens to them, they just have to call the local U.S. embassy for help, and that, basically the staff, the embassy staff will just take care of everything for them. But that's not true. The personnel, the embassy personnel can help you replace your stolen passport. They can contact your friends or family members in the United States. They can help you communicate with local police. They can connect you with the various resources. They can find medical care or legal assistance for you. They could do a lot of stuff. But you have to understand, the embassy, aka the government in general, cannot pay for your medical care. They cannot provide emergency transportation, right? Again, it really depends on the situation here. Now, there might be some rare major catastrophes where, it's not just you, it's a bunch of Americans or all Americans are being evacuated. That is an emergency it's an emergency situation, but I'm talking about everyday things that happen. If you're stranded somewhere overseas, they're not going to take care of any financial losses you suffer while traveling, right? Even the State Department on their website, they've said very clearly when it comes to traveling, they've told Americans to carry travel insurance, specifically travel insurance that include emergency medical bills, medical benefits, emergency medical transportation benefits, and coverage for other unexpected expenses like trip cancellation and lost or stolen luggage. The State Department also encourages Americans to buy travel coverage that pays for emergency and or routine medical services overseas, right? And because it's very clear, if you have health insurance in the United States, you want to find out whether it covers emergency that happen abroad, right? And if your health insurance coverage is not adequate, consider buying a short-term supplemental policy, especially a policy that will make payments to hospitals directly. Very important. Now, reason number 6, and this is the last reason but not the least. You want to have real peace of mind, folks. By real peace of mind, I'm talking about stress-free stays. Basically what you're buying is, by purchasing travel insurance, you are purchasing peace of mind. Not just travel insurance in general, you buy peace of mind, right? But it's more pronounced when it comes to travel insurance, because you're not home, you're not in your country, you're overseas, you are in a country, where you don't understand the subtleties of local law or of local legislation. so you might feel a little disoriented. But the travel insurance will help you. So stress-free stays. If you want to have a stress-free stay, a stress-free car hire process, a stress-free, medical emergency. If you want to have less stress in general, you are actually, buying this with travel insurance. Now, less stress means what? Less stress means that you have more time to complete the task that you were there for. It's not a task, to actually experience and enjoy all the activities that you have signed up for, right? So this is actually what you're paying for. So the peace of mind is very critical. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are about to wrap up today's conversation, and basically, we've been talking about 6 reasons why travel insurance is definitely worth it. Before I give you the recap here, I want to acknowledge some of our viewers and listeners in the United States and Canada, particularly Bev Ken in Ogden, Utah, Jennifer West in West Jordan, Utah, and Hannah Scott in Wasatch Hollow, Utah. Thank you so much, Hannah, Jennifer, and Bev. Here are the 6 reasons why travel insurance is definitely worth it. It's affordable and covers your whole family. You want to avoid mishaps that could ruin your trip. Medical emergencies abroad can be really expensive. You don't want to lose your vacation investments. The government won't cover you. And number 6, you want to have real peace of mind. Okay? Now, here is some extra advice. According to the U.S. State Department, travel insurance varies widely, and one should carefully read the terms of an insurance policy to make sure it fits the needs of the traveler. For example, according to the State Department, you want to ask yourself, or you want to ask the insurance agent whether the particular travel insurance policy whether the particular policy you are about to buy cover emergency medical care, medical transport back to the United States, travel/accommodation cost, 24-hour contact line, sufficient financial coverage, the region you travel in, the duration of your travel, pre-existing conditions, and activities you plan on engaging. Right? So this is very important. The last one is key. All the activities you plan on engaging in. It's very important. Insurance companies want to make sure you're not being reckless about your life, so that they don't end up paying just a whole lot of money for stupid stuff, right? So you want to make sure that you contact your insurance agent to make sure that you have a clear idea of what's allowed and what's not allowed. All right? I think that's about it. Sounds good. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you next time. Remember, until next, stay marvelous.